HTown Grown Show.
What's up with it?
Hey, oh man, I feel out of place, man. Y'all ain't tell me it was a Shades episode. You know what I'm saying? You ain't tell me he was throwing shade today.
Yeah, no, you know, Leno, he always
got the shades.
And then it's, black and brown. You know what I'm saying?
It's a black, okay. Yeah. All right, so vanilla got left out.
And light skin.
Butterscotch got left out. All right, yeah.
Whoa, time out. Nigga, don't you ever identify yourself as butterscotch. With everything that's going on, you identify yourself as butterscotch.
Sure, right. Yeah. Beige. I'm gonna just go with beige. How about that?
Yeah, we'll take beige. We'll take beige.
You know what I mean? Hey, cheers to everybody. You know, we ended the year and we had to get back at y'all. We had to do it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot going on. We're gonna jump straight into it. What y'all think about Travis Hunter?
He has a right to love his decisions are his decisions, and hopefully, everything is sincere, but at the same time, he is a very promising athlete with a future, and I hope that he looks at both of that and manages both of those and protect himself well, his heart as well as his well-being, you know what I'm saying?
Hold up, Leno, I feel like I didn't give you that question properly because I got a real politically correct response. What would you tell Travis Hunter if you was his uncle?
Oh, well,
Leno,
the prenup. I would definitely push a prenup. I would have to just give him the game and just like it on the surface, it looks like she's maybe not into you, but we could be wrong about that. But at the same time, you are an investment, you are a brand, and you have to protect yourself accordingly. And at the same time, you can love who you choose to love, but you are a company within yourself. And so, you got to take care of both of those things and prioritize your brand and do what you need to do, and still love who you feel like you need to love, but protect yourself.
Okay. What would you tell him, Monty?
First of all, he ugly.
Okay. All right, yeah.
Listen, hold on, wait.
No. As an uncle, you got to tell him that.
All right,
I feel like that's your responsibility.
First of all, man, you ugly. So
own that shit.
You know what I'm saying? The first thing, you supposed to warm up to start when you start dating baddies. You know what I'm saying? That's his first baddie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not only that, she's a Latina.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So he should have hit him a booger wolf first. You supposed to gather your booger wolf and work your way up to a baddie because you jump off the porch and you just get you a baddie and you already ugly. Guess what's gonna happen? Now, can't nobody tell you nothing.
Yeah.
And then you gotta think about it. Have you ever had y'all don't know her like that pussy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, I'm gonna steal my grandmother pearls to make sure you all right. That's his first piece of you know what I mean? Like, just think about your uncle. And you got an uncle that dated a white girl. You know what I'm saying? His life went down. And they'll say, man, you know what, Junebug, man, ever since he started messing with that white girl, that's when he started smoking crack. Right. You know what I mean? So they gonna blame it on it. But you can't tell Junebug nothing. Junebug, hey, y'all don't know her like I know her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I
just tell him, hey man, you know what? You should have worked your way up into a baddie. Now you got money. You know what I'm saying? You're an ugly nigga with money. You know what I mean? So now what it is that if she is playing you like a sucker, you know what I mean? Like you gotta protect yourself.
Protect yourself.
You know what I mean? But
absolutely.
I can't condemn him for that. You know what I'm saying? Because the consequences come on you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You got to deal with those consequences. You know what I'm saying? But I just wish, you know what I'm saying, he would have got him somebody, you know what I'm saying, that looked like Forrest Whitaker, daughter or something like that, and then worked his way up to exactly. I ain't gonna lie. Whoopi had got a little something back there. You ain't never seen it?
Hey, on the cool, it was one of the movies back in the 80s and 90s. Say, she had a little body on her, straight up.
21 Jump Street, not 21.
Nah, this might have been Ghost or some shit. Where she had a little body on her, and she had like a little sundress on one time in one of the movies.
Man, I'm disturbed that y'all are pointing this out.
Man, I put so much. No man,
I know what you I know what you saw, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, Whoopi got a little something back there. You know what Whoopi say? Then you didn't see the interview. Whoopi say, you know what I'm saying? Like she'll knock him down and send him on. For real. Like Whoopi, if you watching this, you know what I mean?
Get some of that view money.
You know, I go home. She say, you can't spend a night. Man, knock me down, Whoopi. And send me on my way.
Pull a sister act.
Exactly. I'm going to send you an invoice.
Already.
Hey, hold on. We're going to take a slight pause. All right, so just to put all our viewers on, Travis Hunter said that if she a gold digger, I'm a gold digger.
Damn.
Can you imagine
that? Y'all don't know her like that.
That's that sunshine pussy right there, man.
I've known a lot of people like that, though. I've known a lot of women like that. I've met them, man. But Monty, you was dropping a lot of game because even though I was laughing, that was real. You should start with a booger wolf. That's one of the things that we get wrong. Like, and I think about him. I'm sensitive to, not sensitive, but I understand how he got in this predicament because his whole life he been waking up early, 5 a.m. to go play ball, learn this game, and do what he loves. His whole life been dedicated to his career. He hadn't really had the time to understand women. You know what I'm saying? And the first one, this one, Batty, or his vision of Batty, probably came real easy to him because he got that NCAA swag on him right now.
Yeah.
So you need to practice. You need reps. Just like you practice that ball, it's the same here, bro. You need some practice out here. You know what I mean? So before you can really hold it down, because if she gets you into a written situation with contracts, marriage, and things like that, you'll learn a bad lesson quickly, bro.
Yeah. And I think as black men, even some women, man, just want to protect that brother and make sure that, he's worked hard, he's grinded, and, to protect himself, man. So, yeah.
Should have started.
Yeah, that's why I question that, because I wonder who's around him. Like, I hope you got uncles talking to you.
Well, there's a clip when he was at Jackson State, I believe, where Dion was talking to him in the room, and Dion was like, "Say, man, we need to get you on a prenup." He was already telling him this like 2-3 years ago. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was dating no girl then, but Dion was kind of like being that uncle, like, say, you about to come into something, you are evolving, you need to be on the lookout for that. But sometimes love make you blind. Shit.
Right, and Dion been through it, so that's better than uncle.
You ain't never had none of that. You don't know her like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's why. We all been there.
You ain't never been in love.
Think about it. In our tax bracket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like you say, it takes reps, man. You know what I mean?
And I think too, man, a lot of times with our athletes, I think we forget sometimes that they're young and they're experiencing a lot of shit for the first time.
Yeah.
And they just don't know how to respond, because you think about when you were that age and how you encounter certain things, and we tend to make them more older and wiser than what they actually are, when deep down inside it's just 19, 21, 22-year-old dude who's just learning life and getting a taste of that type of baddie early on in his life.
You ever been tender behind something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like tender to where like every time somebody offer you food, you turn it down?
Shit, I've been there.
Yeah, man. Like you just got a boo-boo like every 10 minutes.
Been there.
Yeah, that's bad. In that fetus position, just balled up.
And then when she leave you, you listening to songs and shit, and man say, yeah, boy.
I'm thinking about, you know what I'm saying, how she riding that other nigga.
Yeah.
You get to thinking like, man, like she made me feel,
yeah.
Yeah, well, it's these type of moments that make me think about cliches. You know what I'm saying? So I want to bring this up. What are the cliches that kind of destroy our culture? Like, what are the cliches we should just do away with? I'll give an example. A wet coochie and a drop purse don't go together. I think that sets up a bad cultural dynamic that just makes all of this love stuff transactional.
Well, when you compare the vagina to anything financially, of course it's gonna cause issues. Because now what you've done, you put a price on it.
Right.
And once you put a price on it, I get to do whatever I want to do with it. You may say, oh, you gonna have to do this for me. And okay, so now we making these type of transactions. When I rent a car, you can't tell me how to enter that car. I can go to the passenger, through the back, because I rented the car.
Right.
So now once you start talking about intimacy and finances, all that other type of respect goes out the window.
Yeah, it's not love anymore.
No.
Yeah.
No. You know,
It's romance and finance.
Romancing and finance.
Romance and finance.
Ain't nothing going on but the rent.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You
So
know?
when I pay for it, look, hey, I can do whatever I want.
It's gonna come with some expectations.
Exactly, but also you don't. If I call you at 6 a.m. and tell you, hey, you know what I mean, like I need to see it because I've been paying for it. I don't need you to call me later on that day and say, hey, why I haven't heard from you?
Yeah.
No, dog, that's out the window. I paid for it.
Right.
I'm paying for it now. So the rental car people, they don't call you back and say, hey, where did you take the car to? Ain't none of your business. The contract states that, hey, I rented this car. You know, you may send a survey. How was the survey?
Real.
Yeah.
You
know what I mean?
After
now
the fact.
send me a survey. Hey, how was the cooch? I give it a 7.
I might not respond. I might not reply to your customer feedback card.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Customer feedback.
Right.
So you can't get upset with me. I thought we was going to dinner. No, we're not going to dinner.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're asking. This is utilizing that cliche. It's like you have to understand if that's what we're gonna go with. That's what the agreement is. You can't be changing it in the middle stream and having other. You know, a lot of times what kills things that get misunderstood is always these unwritten or unspoken expectations, and that's what come when you say cliches like that and people believe in it. It's like it makes sense until it don't, and then because you have other things connected around it, like what Monty was saying, like now all of a sudden you want to get attached, or now you want to do a certain thing that's different from what that cliche spoke about, and now you want to mix that into the agreement, and then that becomes a conflict, and then that's when you start having problems, misunderstandings, and stuff like that.
Yeah, these cliches tend to normalize bad behavior and get people to overlook, the actual exchange that's going on. I got another one for you. It ain't tricking if you got it. Is it tricking if you got it? Or is it not?
I look at it as sowing a seed. I wouldn't say tricking, because when you start tricking, it's just like that's all it is. That means you don't get nothing in return.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm pouring into you financially, you know what I'm saying, and you reciprocating it in some shape, form, or fashion, then that's
not tricking. That's not tricking.
But if I'm paying bills and I'm giving you this, and the moment I touch it, okay, now we got a problem.
Tricking, to keep it clear, tricking is financially paying for someone to like you.
Yes. Yeah. And I think some women will love that, but I think there's a respect level that they wouldn't respect it. You know what I'm saying?
They respect the money.
They respect the money, but they don't respect the person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But how many times do we hear women say, when I met him, he wasn't my type?
Come on now. How many women you met that wasn't your type and you start liking them?
Yeah.
All right. You keep me honest here.
That's a good point.
Come on now.
Good point.
We've been there.
Sometimes it take a little time.
You gonna keep me honest.
A little level of understanding.
But then the woman that you don't like, and you start a certain way, and then now the emotions are starting to involve. That's the point where you gotta say, hey, you know what? How much you want for it? Because now what it does, it creates this boundary to where, hey, there's no emotions involved. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna call you when I want to get booty. Here's a couple of dollars for your time. We ain't cuddling afterwards.
Right.
You can go on about your business.
Right.
Matter of fact, you probably hit her through the boxer hole. You know what I mean? Instead of getting butt naked. Now, when you get butt naked, then it turns into something else. Butt naked, missionary, raw, kissing in the mouth.
Yeah.
Nah, you know what I mean? She has every right to ask you why you ain't call her back. You know, so you got to think about it. Mixed signals. You know what I'm saying?
Because, and then at the same time, if from the man's perspective, you into that agreement, again, the unwritten expectations, you can't have them, because if she's with somebody else the next day, or you got to understand the flip side of that. If this is strictly transactional and she doing what she doing and it ain't with you at that time that y'all supposed to be together, you can't really be tripping either, because it's like both sides of the coin. You know what I mean? You got to be able to understand your advantages and hers.
Right. So think about this. And this is a question. I seen the meme going around about the thin line between love and hate. Who's actually wrong? At this age now, and the things that you know what I mean? Because now we, as men, you know what I mean? Like, I've had intellectual conversations with y'all guys. And so you got to think about it. Being emotionally mature now, who do you think was in the wrong?
nigga know.
I'm gonna say she was in the wrong.
Okay.
She went way hard. Like it was. She spun out. She crashed out.
But what led her to crash out though? Like,
are we going by the reaction
or the call?
You know what I'm saying? Didn't fit the crime.
Well, I mean, we can't be. You know, when you go out and you do something, you can't be responsible for the consequences that come to you. You
can't have selective outrage.
You can't have,
that's true,
you know
but
I mean?
At the same time, you can't like, okay, so I'm gonna say something a little controversial. I mean, I feel like women have so many rights that they have to be responsible on their side of the coin, because when they do you dirty, what you gonna do? You gonna yell a little bit, and that's really about the end of what you gonna do.
You don't get to tell me how to react. You know what I'm saying?
The police do, though. The HPD does.
Yeah, but if I feel like this person, but you got to think about it. If you just a square individual, you straight up and down, you ain't talking to nobody, you ain't doing nothing, and she play on you, now it's up to you how to react. But now if you doing your thing too, you know, but you ain't been caught and you blowing a fuse,
that's different.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Different. But my thing is this, if I looked at it now, I'm like, oh man, she crazy. But then when he came along, it was just like, all right, bro, you had a hidden agenda. So with that hidden agenda, boom.
Yeah.
All right, nah, this is who I really want to be with. Hey, man, look, man, what we had is cool. And the lady told you, hey, don't play with me.
She told you up front. She told you her expectation up front. Don't play with her.
Don't play with me.
Don't play with her.
And now as I got older, I'm like, man, all he had to do was just say, hey, man, look, man. You know, you got to know how to skip a two a few.
And then he wasn't, you know, now, like Monty say, watching it now in the advanced years, you look at it, he telling her, he was doing sucker shit, telling her I love you just to try to get it. You know what I'm saying? The bets. All of that now, we know how impactful that is when you tell the wrong woman or the right woman some shit like that. And if they internalize it and mean it, man, the consequences.
Wait, on the flip side, though, you don't think that women do that to you? You don't think women say,
all the time. You think
women say they love you?
All the time.
They don't really mean it?
All the time. But I do think that it's important. We are leaders for a reason, right? And so what I've started to understand, again, just with intellectual conversations and stuff like that, is that a lot of times the way that a woman may react emotionally, it's important for us to try not to do that, because a lot of times they're looking towards us to be the level logical-minded, rational-minded person, no matter how chaotic the situation is. Just think about the relationships with your daughters and shit like that, right? You know what I'm saying? They're looking for you. If both of y'all are crashing out at each other, ain't nothing gonna get solved. Yeah. So for them, that type of behavior, you have to try to be above it or try to respond a different way. Because if you in that shit too like that, and both of y'all, it's even worse than what it is.
Yeah, because you got to think about
not making excuses for them though, but it is what it is.
There's some truth to that. I've been in situations where the women were causing the chaos.
Oh, absolutely. yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times they cause the very problems that they complain about.
Oh.
So it happens. Like it's a funny little, it's a fickle, funny little situation. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm saying is we're expecting, I think you said that too. We're expected to live to a higher order. It's not expected of them. And I get that, but I feel like they play on that a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah, it's you 1,000% right on that. It's no arguing that point.
Yeah, they create the chaos and complain about the consequences. Oh, that's a ball. Nigga. Oh, that's a ball. Oh.
Bars.
Make sure you pull that out. That's a highlight right there.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, you made the clip zone.
Man.
Yeah.
Man. Writing a song about that shit, man.
God,
you know,
it's life.
Yeah, it goes around though. I think that, and I focus on Adam and Eve, right? Because I actually had a discussion with a lady about the Bible and Adam and Eve, right? And this particular lady believes that it was all Adam's fault. Everything was Adam's fault. That Eve was in the garden by herself was Adam's fault. That that he participated in the apple eating was Adam's fault.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what I said. God told who not to eat from the tree?
Adam.
Regardless on how she spasming out, he had a commandment. He had a
God.
And sometimes we lose that and we get caught in our emotions to either give in or do what we know is not right, but it ends up costing us a lot more in the long run. And that's the.
But what did God say?
That's
What did he say? What was the order to do?
He said, "Don't go in the garden. Don't eat from the tree of knowledge."
Yeah.
But,
that's what I remember.
Okay, but he ended up doing what?
Going in the garden.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the consequences of being disobedient to the word of God, there's gonna always be some type of chaos.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You gotta think about it. If your discernment is telling you something, and a lot of times we go against our discernment, it never ends well.
Never.
The God in you is telling you, okay, hey man, you know what? You know, after 2 drinks, you don't drive. You know what? I'm on my 6th shot right now. I know after what's gonna happen after 2. Now I'm at 6. I go out there, bam. The first thing we do once we get back into that sober mind state, man, I should have went with my
first mind. Yeah.
Your first mind is nothing but confirmation of your discernment.
Yeah.
Connection to God.
Off top.
Bingo.
However, Adam was experiencing what Travis Hunter was experiencing.
The lust was hot.
The lust was hot.
You know what I'm saying?
He never seen nothing like that before. That boy was tired from birthing that thing, man. He
But
like,
nigga out there too.
And she probably, Adam, I want that apple. I want that apple.
You're talking about the original, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Now this, so my thing is, okay, and I agree with you fellas on everything you said so far.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, but why did Eve listen to the serpent? Like, why would you came from me, my rib, so I would expect to be able to trust you. But why would you listen to the serpent, something lower than us? And I got a connection to God.
I think it goes down to emotions because I'm going to go a level deeper. The serpent knew who to talk to first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He knew who to speak to first to influence who he needed to do, because he probably, if he had came to Adam probably would have been like, no, man, God told me I can't do this. But how many times do we allow circumstances and situations to work through our significant others or other things and our girlfriends or in the same situation that we oftentimes trying to please or trying to, you know what I mean, make happy.
You say please and make happy. Let's take it a step further.
Yeah.
Job facing his plagues, right?
Yeah.
His wife, Job's wife say, just curse God. Just curse him. Nah, I can't do it.
I can't do it.
I can't do that.
So he didn't listen to his woman.
Nah.
But my question remains though, why did Eve listen to the serpent? What was her purpose in listening to the serpent?
She was hard-headed.
She was hard-headed, and I just think that it's just the science of it all, right? You know, typically, engineered-wise, we're supposed to be the more logical. We're more into our logic. We're more into being stoic Supposedly, right? That don't mean all men act like that, and then women are more emotional because that type of additional emotions in them makes them who they are, right? And so a lot of times it can open the opportunity to play to that emotional side, which we know the emotions is like a fucking river. It's up and down. It's not stable. It's not based on nothing. It's just based on what's in the moment. And that influence sometimes to us could be detrimental. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why, and with the serpent, with the devil, knowing God the way he did, you know what I'm saying? He figured what's the path of least resistance to get this chaos or get this, outcome that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Huh? And Eve probably was fine too, cause you know what I'm saying?
Oh no, there's no doubt she was fine.
Huh?
There's no doubt she was fine. This is the first one. You think God would create a booger wolf?
Nah.
First one, only one?
She probably was bad too.
She was bad. She was baddie.
The first baddie.
But you're real close to you're real close to what I believe. You're real close.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Is there a chance that Eve listened to the serpent because she was jealous that Adam had the connection to God?
Ooh.
And she wasn't in control. So just think about if she had the connection.
She wanted it. Look at who's talking to her.
Yeah.
And look at what he's telling her. He's telling her, you'll be like gods.
Yeah.
And now Eve is the plug.
Yeah.
Watch your household, fellas. They'll sneak in through the back door, bro. Through the back door.
Shit. Have to sip on that one. I mean, that's something to think about.
I wouldn't say jealousy.
Yeah.
But just
envy. All you're right. You're just saying women are more emotional.
Because you said,
no doubt she had emotions.
Yeah, because you said something profound
she
here.
Did something based out of fear. What was that fear? We only do things based out of love or fear. We know it wasn't love because he told her. God said, "Don't do this."
And
could have been the fear of lack of knowledge. I don't know if it was jealousy because
no. But she ate from the tree of knowledge, so she's trying to gain something.
Yeah.
That he doesn't have.
But the fact that she knew, you know what I mean? Hey, you're not supposed to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But hey, go do it.
And then come back. Hey, you should eat this apple. I learned something. You should do it too.
Not knowing. You just made this man crash out.
We see it every day. There's a reason why this is the first story in the Bible.
Is that the first man lesson? Is
Absolutely.
that the first? I mean, it's funny you say that. I used to have this guy I used to work with, man, and he used to say, "Is this big?" He say, "This big, this long, this wide, long." He say, "Countries didn't fell over it.
Yeah.
Men done died over it." And he was just talking about vagina. You know what I'm saying? And he always say
20
this,
seconds of pleasure.
When you think about it, man, it's like the things that we get ourselves into or that we allow. And if you channel this back to the first lesson, and I think in our years, the importance of saying no has been so emphasized now and so important now to be able to say that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's so hard to do, but at the same time, it is a necessity.
Yeah.
That's your power. That's what you're supposed. I mean, and that was the point that this lady was emphasizing, and she was correct. Like, Adam did the major sin because God gave him the instruction.
Yeah.
And his judgment got clouded, and that's that's why it's up front in the whole book telling you how to live. The first thing they're telling you to be careful of. Because they do respond and act out of emotion. A lot of things happen based off of their feelings. a lot of their feelings are based in insecurity. I don't mean to turn off a lot of our female viewers. I love all my female viewers. I love women. This is not a women hating session. This is just men talking men stuff right now for the benefit of everybody on the internet.
I just had something come to me. Now, I don't know if this makes sense or not, but was the woman a representation of emotion on how to control or manage your emotion? Because flip the script, we got a lot of dudes out here that's emotional. You know what I'm saying? Or that act out emotionally, or listen to their emotions and not necessarily go with their logic. And they lead with emotions, right? So is that a representation of emotion, or giving into the internal feelings of what makes us feel good versus what's right?
There you go, right there. The second one. Because well, and what I've experienced more often than not, that I've been tested by women to do things that I wouldn't normally do. And most times I've said no. Sometimes I've had a lapse in judgment. I've always regretted it. I've never not regretted it. You know, no matter what it is. Steal somebody's dog. Didn't steal someone's dog, but things like that just morally are wrong. But guess what? At the end of the day, the woman on the other side of that is not going to feel any remorse or even feel like she's sinned. She's just going to leave it on you, just like Adam.
But should she though? Because again, if the order is for us to be, and it goes back to who has the ultimate responsibility to respond the right way, regardless of the situation. That's a hell of a task that men that a lot of times we're tasked with that we don't always do. You know what I'm saying? But it's ultimately our responsibility. I've had conversations, you know what I'm saying, with women, with my wife, like, you know, like, hey, if I'm crashing out, dude, I need you to be kind of in a place to where you can kind of mitigate that, right? Now, that means that's not saying who's right or who's right or wrong. It's just like somebody got to be logical in this situation, because there's always going to be a logical person in the situation. It's going to either be the woman or the man. You know what I'm saying? But it goes back to God has given us that ultimate responsibility to lead in that way. That's, you know what I'm saying?
And I look at it as, okay, emotions versus logic. All right. If you notice, if you're having a disagreement with your woman, you notice that her response to things is that I feel that this, I feel that, and it's just like, do you feel or do you know? You know what I mean? So as men, you know, we are creatures of habit. Women, they are emotional beings, right? Our job is to protect, provide, preserve, but to also give them a safe place to land emotionally.
Yes.
So in the sense of that, when you don't lay that foundation of that, guess what's gonna happen? Now everything is spiraling out of control. You're responding emotionally, she's responding emotionally. Now y'all just having an emotional clash.
Yep. How
do you bring that to a head? How do you get back to the logic of things? The moment you spiral out of control emotionally, that's it.
That's it.
I just knew you were going to say drugs was the answer.
No, not this time. You know what I mean? Because somebody has to, you know what I mean? Because I know there's been times, you know, with my woman, it's just like, hey, you know what? I may shut down because I don't want to respond from an ego side. You know what I mean? Because ego and emotions, once they clash, it's over with.
It's over with.
It's over with. So now it's just like, hey, you know what? With therapy, it's a, hey, man, you know what? If you plan on being a leader of your household and you're doing X, Y, and Z, you're going to have to stop. You're going to have to analyze the situation.
Yeah.
Now you're analyzing the situation and you may not be in the wrong.
Yeah.
You're going to have to say, you know what, baby, you know what? I see it from your point of view.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I'd rather be peaceful than to be right.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not in a sense of, it's not a dick slanging contest in that moment.
Right.
Because hey, baby, let it all out.
Yeah.
And you had to sit there, and now once everything,
time that can fuck some shit up. You know what I'm saying?
but you know what else helps too?
Drugs.
Hey, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what kind of job. I mean,
I'm not
crack.
It's a healthy crackhead, ain't it?
You know what I mean? Like,
Nah, you're not a crackhead. Nah,
butterscotch. You know. So, but you got to think about it. You know, to just when a woman she expresses her grievance, and it's just like, okay, you know what? How can I correct this? Here's the solution. What do we need to do so this don't happen again?
Yeah.
And so what it does, it puts her at a place of peace, to where it's like, okay, now he's taking it into consideration, and now it's like, okay, well, she's gonna come back. Hopefully, this, you have to deal with an emotionally mature woman to where she comes to, all right, you know what? I hear you. Okay, let me correct that because you didn't already put her first. Hey, okay, baby, I see why this. Okay, let me correct it. You know what I mean? So therefore, it doesn't happen again on my part. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't say it's gonna be a quick fix.
Yeah.
But the trying and, you know, showing initiative and stuff like that, bro. But now if you just dealing with a woman that just want to be right all the time,
And that's a different story. That might be something that you might not need to be around.
cheat. I mean, I don't know.
And fellas, ain't no expert or nothing, but I learned this shit just like through therapy. Like using saying we instead of you makes a big difference. What can we do? What can we, how can we, because it brings the inclusiveness of them into the conversation. And again, like my boy was saying, it puts them first. It makes them feel, again, safe. You know what I'm saying? To be able to express in that area. And it takes a lot of thought, because when you in the heat of battle, you ain't thinking about all that shit a lot of times.
You know, especially once you start being combative, bro, it's just like, all right. But, you know, women love when you're intentional.
Okay. Hey, so next cliche. Do y'all believe in happy wife, happy life?
I mean, I ain't married yet, so
I'm
that for us.
Yeah.
happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't believe in that, because I think both entities have got to be happy.
Yeah, I agree.
And that, because you can lose yourself and lose yourself in like boundaries. You don't have no boundaries in the relationship, because all you want to do is make your wife happy. And although she's happy, you're not happy. And then that leads to unhealthy shit for you. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be I think it has to be an intentional effort for both parties to be happy. So I don't believe in that happy wife, happy life stuff, because you're not going to have a life. You're not going to be happy. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to be faking it till you're making it. And, you know, just constantly always worrying about her first and her things and all of that type of stuff. Nah, I think both parties should be happy.
Not being henpecked.
Whatever my wife says, what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
What's the name, man?
Yeah.
Leno, I noticed you ain't sipping with us, man. You waiting for this cherry?
What kind of freaky shit? Hey, man, look, okay.
Hey, so let me explain.
Whoa,
Hey, first, whoa, yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Come on, man. No Diddy on
All
that.
right, wait, no, what we doing?
No Diddy.
It's three niggas sitting here, we eat cherries, nigga.
Hold on, let me explain this.
Okay,
so
please explain.
First of all, we sipping on something little special. We sipping on Philbert XO. It's an excellent cognac. We're not sponsored yet, fellas, at Philbert. You know what I mean? But it's straight out of Champagne, France. You know, and XO means it's been aged 10 years. So this is, you know, one of the beautiful cognacs that has no dyes. It's single estate, single batch. It's a limited edition.
Yeah.
You know, they only made 700 of these bottles.
Nah, it's quality. It's quality.
It's very quality. It's very
pour,
quality.
man. Quality
You know,
pour.
so when you have something like this, and you don't have many impurities. It's very easy to sip and drink. I don't know if you enjoying like me, but but then, you know, to boost it up, you know, a little touch of fruit. The cognac is so good. The little touch of fruit, you'll taste how it doesn't have many impurities.
Yeah, and I've been sipping. This is my second glass.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I've been sipping.
Check it out.
Yeah. Check it out, man. This not the type of cognac you want to cut with Sprite and shit like that, man. Leave that Coca-Cola. Leave that Coke in the car. You know what I mean? You can drink this straight.
Well, I just dropped one cherry.
Just drop one cherry.
Okay.
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
You want one of these?
Yeah,
go ahead.
I asked about them. These are expensive cherries, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, them boys.
Them not cherries?
Nah, these ain't HEBs.
These are not the cheap, cheap cherries. You know? Yeah, we ending the year off right, chopping it up with our fans out here. You know what I mean? Having some great conversation. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to turn the conversation a little bit because one of my New York peoples done got out of pocket. I don't know if y'all heard of Fat Joe, like what he's talking about right now. He talked some smack about foundational Black Americans, and he landed in it. You guys up on that? You guys hear about that?
Nah. Bring us up to speed on that.
So FBA is organization. I think Tariq Nasheed is leading it, where he's just talking about the upliftment of Black culture and foundationally who we are. They are looking at making it very distinctive of people who have lived the Black American experience, not people who have immigrated here from like the Caribbean or South America or stuff like that, who may share our skin color but not the same experience.
Okay.
So they're making that comment, and then Fat Joe felt a kind of way because he's a Caucasian Latino. He's a Caucasian Latino out here rapping in our culture, so he felt like he needed to speak on it, and he called them clowns. He called them broke clowns because they were saying that.
So that was my question. Who gave him, the pass to just feel like he can
speak on that topic,
talk on these issues? Right?
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah. Yeah, I think just maybe because he feel like he got a platform and that he's accepted in the Black community, that he felt like, it's like sometimes I guess that gives someone the confidence to feel like they can speak for Black culture because they either been around it or they've been submerged in it. But it's kind of like nothing like an airplane pilot that know how to fly airplanes. And he don't need to be talking about trains. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I mean, anytime they speak from the aspect of Spanish culture. They speak from, even Fat Joe in all his explanations says, I've been around Black people my whole life. Like, he doesn't speak like he's a part of. And that was the whole point that FBA was saying. You're not a part of. You speak, you've never been as welcoming and inclusive, and you, Fat Joe, and also the community, inclusive of us as we have been of them. We've always, wanted, more people to join our cause, so to speak, and see the light. And we haven't felt that in return. I can say this is a kind of controversial one for me because I've been in Spanish culture. I speak Spanish fairly well, and I've traveled to a lot of Spanish countries, and I've enjoyed a lot of Spanish culture. I've been invited in mostly because I speak Spanish.
This nigga think he better than us.
Exactly.
It's always good to have a nigga like him when you're traveling.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I know what it is.
Yeah.
I see both sides of this. I see both sides. So I don't know. I don't really know. But what I will say is, I think that we as a culture push the envelope first. I think we're kind of dialing it back. I think the election kind of did that too.
Interesting times. Interesting times.
Very entertaining.
Yeah.
I bet you having a blast as a comedian.
Man, listen. I remember during the election time when they were campaigning, it was all about, speaking on the issues, kissing babies, you know what I'm saying, shaking hands. Now it's twerking.
Yeah, twerking is how you pander nowadays.
Old cracked out wrestlers.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like damn. I would never. Things don't stay the same, but it's just like when you start seeing politics turn into a reality show type shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Now nobody's gonna take us serious.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, I eat chicken. I'm getting the black vote, black jobs, and I know how to. I put my mustard greens in the bathtub, and it's just like
type shit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now is, but then, you know, you got this caveman that has won the election again, and it's like, man, he's playing up there. You know, and I see a lot of people, you know, they frustrated and depressed because the caveman has yet, you know, won again.
Won again.
Yeah, but it's, if you sleeping at night, do you think he's gonna come in and wake you up and say, hey, to the fields?
Time to pick that cotton.
Right. Like, it does.
It's that just that over worrying. Like, come on, man. He's not the first Republican president. If that was your thing, that has, you know what I mean? It's just like life will continue as it should, how it should, because I look at a lot of stats and shit like that, right? Not just studying stuff, but it's just like so many people historically turn out for the presidential election, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you look at the state, like just take Texas as a whole, like when it's time to vote for our governors and the actual laws that impact us the most, a lot of us don't even turn out for that.
Exactly.
To really make that impact on what's impacting you the most, you know what I mean? And so it's just like, it's a lot of sensationalism in that and all that shit that I think, to Monty's point, where it's just like, they about to come wake us up and everybody back in the field.
And my thing was more, you know, with me being an educator, bro, I was more in tune with, hey, these local elections. You know what I'm saying? When it came to the school district, man, like, you know,
was it HR 16 or something? I forgot the bill that was out.
The bill for HISD and the big, to get him a lot of extra money.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. That was my thing. You know what I mean? My kids, you know, what's the status of their well-being? You know what I mean? I'm not worried about orange hair, man. Like he gonna do what he gonna do.
He gonna do what he
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he gonna get up there, he gonna say some outlandish shit. But I'm more concerned about, hey man, these young minds. You know what I mean?
Right.
Do they have the resources to continue to be successful?
Yeah. So I want to ask you something about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that the bill didn't pass the grant money because no one feels confident with the leadership of the district at this point to give them that much money to be able to do what they need to do? Or, you know what I mean? Because it's definitely, I think it's always needed. It's always resources and dollars that need to go into education because that's our future, right? And I commend all teachers, you know what I'm saying, and administrators, everybody. Shout out. Y'all take y'all break, pull up, have a good time. Y'all earned it. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate
Mom
what y'all
and Dad,
do.
both teachers,
Straight up.
both in the education system.
Principals, janitors, everybody in the school system, man. Love what y'all do. Thank you. But like, I looked at that and I felt like it didn't pass because it's just, I don't know if everybody's comfortable with the leadership and how they would really disperse that money and trusting them to do so. Cause it's been so much up and down with looking
homeboy.
at, with homeboy and just the superintendent and how things
I think y'all had a bad 2 years running into this.
Well, okay, let me see. How can I put this without being a dickhead? All right, so his formula, all right, his approach to it, terrible.
Gotcha.
Right.
But seeing the things that he wants, like he's for the kids, bro.
I've heard that.
When I mean he's for the kids,
I've heard
that. When they do these evaluations,
I heard,
you know, hey man, you get caught sitting down.
I heard that. Ain't no sitting down.
Ain't no sitting down.
Yeah, you losing your job. You get caught.
You know what I mean? Like,
I heard
those
that.
points, man. Like, if they're not engaged, his thing is student engagement.
Yeah.
That quiet classroom shit. Everybody be quiet. Don't say nothing. I'm teaching. Nah. Every 3-5 minutes, hey man, these kids are talking. Because now what it is that you're breaking your lesson up in each segment. Hey man, they're talking. How do we know that they're learning if they sitting there quiet? control chaos in the classroom. That's his thing.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, so I teach art of thinking and Texas history.
Gotcha.
3 days of 3 days of art of thinking, 2 days of Texas history. So you got to think about it. Art of thinking, that's his baby. He created that content. And the thing about that art of thinking content is teaching our babies how to have intellectual conversations, how to analyze conversations, how to be able to determine what you're saying is bullshit, and what you're saying is that okay, to where they can analyze it and say, all right, you know what, this person is actually speaking with some type of sense. You know, how to identify if a person is lying, how to identify, you know, if a person is adding on to the story. Like that content, bro, is amazing. And that's his baby. So, but then not only that, you know what I mean? Shit, he gave the bag.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of, you know what I mean, teachers that are not certified, but they gave them waivers to the point where it's like, hey, you know what? You're qualified to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a certain amount of time for your, you know, for you to get certified, but also to where they'll pay for it.
Yeah.
So, you know, his approach to things and, you know, it wasn't good, but being on the inside, bro, like, I'll let you think that you gonna go in there and just do some shit and just chill. Nah, you up. You better have some good walking shoes. You're up maneuvering, monitoring throughout the entire 90 minutes. Yeah. But see, what it was is that a lot of those teachers, a lot of those admin that would normally don't do shit, and he's coming in and say, okay, hey, you ain't been doing nothing. You gone. We're going to replace you with this. And y'all up in an uproar. He removed, what he did, he removed somebody that didn't hold you accountable. That's all.
And what's crazy is that I had a partner of mine, a real good friend of mine who's a teacher, and he told what you just said. He said all that shit last year when he first started. Yeah. He was like, bro, they this and this and this. I mean, literally verbatim. What you just said is what he was saying is what's happening with the change. I guess so. It sounded like he could have had a better PR campaign.
His PR ain't shit.
Cause his
PR campaign. He's coming to, hey man, look, like when he did, we was at NRG or whatever, and you know they had a little panel and things, and one of the teachers was so unprofessional on her part, but shit, he met it with disrespect as well. Damn. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, school, oh, okay, yeah, you won't be here. Like, you know what I mean? He actually a nigga if you look at it. You know what I mean? Because he's like, he ain't ducking nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? But one thing, two things for sure. He was like, hey, man, you know, if I see these kids elevating, you know, and they're growing, hey, man, I'm going to hand that money over. But if they're not growing, why should I pay you?
It makes sense.
But then also he knows that, okay, well, hey, you know what? I know you have this type of group. You know what? I'm gonna offer grace to the point where I want to see some type of growth. But if you don't see no type of growth, I'm supposed to give you $100,000 a year.
Yeah, accountability.
Right. I'm supposed to give you $100,000 a year. Like, ain't Lil Jimmy, you know, was a 2 in reading, and he didn't go to a 2.5 within 10 months. A 2.2, he went from a 2 to a 1.5.
He's been left behind.
Man, come on, man. Yeah. And the campaign is no child left behind.
Yeah.
You know, but in the sense of on the money side, man, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that a lot of people didn't take that serious. So they felt that, okay, you know what? We're not gonna vote this because we don't want him to have the money, but it was hurting our babies, man. It hurt the babies, you know? So, I mean,
that's why it's always good to get perspective, man.
Yeah,
because
bro. Like,
you see everything from the outside, and a lot of times we formulate our opinions from what we hear, and we don't really get a chance to get the inside scoop from people that's actually living what's happening to really understand it.
You gotta earn that, man. Ain't no, you know what I mean? He gives you all the resources that you need, and you make them your own. You know what I mean? Like, you know, back in the day, you had to write your own lesson plans. They're giving you the script now. Only thing they asking you to do is internalize it and to make it engaging to where those kids are gonna enjoy it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Hey, this is what we're talking about today. You know what I mean? Like, so they're gonna come in and say, okay, well, damn, we gave you the plan. Now you just gonna keep the same slides up there. You ain't gonna change. You ain't gonna add no spunk to it. Okay, so now you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You didn't go the extra mile for these babies. Mm-hmm. How did you make it relatable to the outside world? You know what I mean? Anything dealing with Texas history, and that is to the point where it's like when we're discussing wars and things of that sort, I always make it relatable to something that they know about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, with the Indians here, you know, what did they discuss here? Why you couldn't go here? And it's like the same. You make it relatable to, okay, if you go to O Block and then what? And so now they
now they understand it. They can make the connection.
Who they speak with,
right?
You tie back into, okay, well, you know, they didn't speak with this commander. Okay, who's the commander? O Block. Oh, now it's like, oh, damn,
they get the concept. Yeah.
Capo over here was, you know, on this.
Man, come on,
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's
man. Nah, that's the separation of good teachers and bad. I remember that. Like, you know, Mr. Clark, you know, 11th grade, much love, you know what I'm saying? You helped me out a lot, you know what I'm saying? But good teachers always want to reach the student, not just deliver the material.
Oh yeah.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
You know, and those people always remember. So shout out.
That's one thing about it. You know what I mean?
Big ups to you for doing what you do, man.
Keep my classroom, that bitch jumping. They know when they hit that corner, they gonna hit.
I be seeing you on IG, man. I ain't gonna
jumping. Man. When they hit that corner, they know, man, come on here and give me an evaluation. You know what I mean? Because the energy is up, man. Like I don't never want them to feel like, okay, man, like you come in here, and it's some days I'm like, but I can't shortchange them.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't shortchange them at all, man. You know, if I feel like my kids in there quiet, man, I ain't doing something. I didn't prepare this lesson properly, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like if they just in there like, oh, okay. Nah, talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we talked about basically speculation. And, you know, that's just a form of like, okay, hey, you know, you're just creating something that has no substance or things of that sort. You just made it up. And it was just like, hey, you know, this is BS. This is bullshit. That allowed them to say, you know what, damn. I was getting evaluation and kids, you know, one of the students like, yeah, because that's speculation. That's bullshit. Because you said, and I'm like, damn. But... You know what I mean? They
understood.
They were like, okay, well, damn, that's exactly what that means.
You
know what I mean? But, you know, my appraisal was just like, hey, like, that's live. You know what I mean? But, like, damn. You
Can't say bullshit.
Yeah. But shit.
But they got it, though.
They got it.
Which is the most important thing. Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
Gotta love it, man. So, I definitely praise what you do, bro. Because you're going to have kids hating that they missed your class. Like, can you imagine that? That's what kids supposed to be like, man, yo, you missed, you ain't seen what Monty did, bro.
Bro. And then, you know, they follow me on the gram, you know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, days that I do miss or something like that, and I try not to, you know, and they're like, hey, they'll hit me, hey, I'm gonna miss tomorrow. Can you not be funny tomorrow? Can you wait? And I'm just like, nah, man, you know, every day is gonna always be something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's gonna always be something to the point where it's like, all right, they gonna remember something when they walk out there.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's good shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started this about the election. I want to ask a question. Are all Republicans racist?
I'll get it started. I think racism has been rooted in this country on both sides. I don't think that there is, I think you have racist Democrats, because shit, Texas history, the shit was switched back in the gap, right? You know what I'm saying? The mindsets was switched. So who decided to take advantage of switching it for the sake of something, right? So I think there's racism on both sides and both parties. I think this election, if we want to kind of talk about it, I think that the American people as a whole, and it's just on just some objective shit, or just stuff, I think they chose not less of voting for morality. They went for more of what it can actually benefit them in terms of outputs, like if they felt like money or they felt like economy versus the character and morality. Because when you think about it, you know what I'm saying? How many times you work for an asshole boss? You kind of, you can respect that they're an asshole because you know that where they coming from.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, I just got to come here and do what I got to do and get my paper because I understand who they are. I know how they move. And that's just the reality of the situation. And I think people knew who Trump was in terms of his behavior, in terms of all that. So they wasn't so much shocked by it this go around. And I think the Democratic Party too had some disadvantages with Biden kind of tinkering out in the middle, and they had to kind of readjust. You know what I'm saying? There was some disadvantages that hurt the Democratic Party too. But I kind of it's interesting to hear everybody else's take about it because I like to try to stay with what I not necessarily call facts, but just like the objectivity of the shit of what we actually seen versus what emotions feel.
So check this out. If I don't like what you stand for and your stance, it doesn't benefit me, does that make me racist?
No.
So what do you think we're experiencing right now?
I think we're experiencing kind of what Leno said at the beginning, that people shied away from identity politics and were much more practical.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Because we so quick, we know when a motherfucker is racist.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but we also have to look at it from a practical standpoint. Let's speak from an intellectual standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Trump has this thing of, okay, hey, I want this country ran a certain way, to where it benefits business owners, things of that sort, right? Okay. Did he say that he's taking away from business owners, taking away from the poor to give to the rich? Oh, like, did he say that?
No.
Nah.
Rich, poor, different, indifferent, everybody is gonna benefit some type of way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some may benefit more than others. But the thing about it is that, is it because of who he is? Because you got to think about it. They're choosing the lesser evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Kamala?
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I'm going to just be real.
Madam Harris.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Things that she
Imhoff.
Okay.
Miss Imhoff.
Okay. So just think about the things that she stood for, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, even people her skin color, looked at it and was just like, whoa, nah, you're going a little too far.
Mm.
Does that make them racist as well?
I don't think so.
I mean, we got to look at it. Does this benefit me? Do I like what you stand for? That's just, everybody is not going to agree. Just think about it, if the entire world agreed with Trump.
Yeah.
What would happen? If I agree with everything that you said, your stance, if each candidate say, hey, you know what? Anything that y'all ask me to do, I'm going to do it.
Be MEGA, make Earth great again.
Come on. Just think about it. Everything that every grievance that this is grievance I have. And okay, you know what? I'm going to correct every grievance that you have. We would live in a perfect fucking world.
Yeah. Oh, we can't have perfection. We already know that.
Nah, I think you it's something I probably thought about it, but I think you had a great point when you said that the country chose the less what they feel, right? And again, people get emotional about this shit and cancel people, all that. They felt they chose the lesser evil, and I think because objectively he's already been in office, they've kind of seen what can happen, and my argument is that I've seen black men get killed, whether it was Republican or Democratic in office. I've seen disproportionate things happen no matter who's in office. So I think the country was able to have seen that, and I think that Madam Harris was just a little bit more of an unknown, and it made a lot of people very cautious to try to see, okay, well, what is this? What is her thing really about?
Yeah,
because they just really didn't know a lot of her. I thought maybe going back, if she was shown more of herself to be the vice president of the Republican Party now, that'll probably be running for president, I feel. I think they've gotten their guy. He's able to distance himself from Trump, if depending on how shit go, or he's able to ride the successes on what happens if things go well. And I think he's young enough. He got all of the shit that checks the boxes, I think, for them to be the viable candidate. It's just going to be interesting who is the Democratic Party gearing up and looking at,
I think here's the crazy thing. So I grew up a Democrat. I landed somewhere in the middle. The older I get, the more conservative I get. I'm sorry. I just get common sense, and some of this stuff, you can just miss me with a lot of this stuff, man. I think it's Texas really growing on me. I ain't gonna hold you, man. Like I feel like, the more the more I chill out in Houston and just chill out with my people and but nah, we ain't fucking with that. We just on this. Yeah. I lost all that Democratic crap in New York, I think that I think that the Democrats have to go back to ground zero, because they do have some things that speak, because they're supposed to be the class of the working person,
right?
But they don't represent that anymore. And they've turned themselves into the woke culture of pandering to all these different pockets that they think they can get votes from, and you can't please everybody at the same time. It's impossible.
I think that's a strong point.
That's what it is. So if because here's the thing about us as people, because I'm going to say it, identify as people who are the descendants of slaves, we always have a heart, and we always want to look out and make sure people aren't mistreated like our people have been mistreated. I think that we have a strong feeling about that. Sometimes to our detriment. I'm going to be very honest. Sometimes to our own detriment. I think that other cultures don't have that. And here's the thing that I want us to wake up from. Wake up. The entire planet has had our experience besides one group. And I don't mean matter of fact, I can't even say besides one group, if I'm being honest. Even Caucasians have been enslaved. The entire planet has that experience. You don't have to play Superman and Captain Save-A-Ho and all this to all the other cultures. So I think that that's really the deal. I think people are waking up to that, and people are needing change in their own lives and their own families and their own homes. Got a lot of new home owners, and you have an economy that's really geared for corporations to take away home ownership right now.
Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping.
That's it.
Yeah, I just want to say that.
Yeah. Oh man, and I know I'm on one, because my sipping is getting strong right now,
Yeah. Shout out to
HTown grown out here.
Shout out to this cognac, man. Say.
Yeah. Shout out to you boys out in Franceville, Bear. Hey, fuck with your boy. Hey. I mean, we here. Fuck with us, man.
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, we repping it. We repping it strong right now. You got us on this strong talk.
Man, hell yeah. No afterburn or nothing, man.
It's what you want. It's what you want. You want to be on that XO. Yeah, you can find it. It's out there at your local spot. You can find it at Specs and Total Wine if you get lucky. That's the problem, is actually finding it. It's about $90 to $120 a bottle. But the hard part is finding one of the 700 bottles that they made. And every year they come out with another batch, but that's the difficulty.
Wait a minute, so they make 700 bottles a year?
How many? This particular batch, it was only 700 bottles out of that one.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. It's so the thing is single estate. So let me give a little cognac class for my viewers right now. When you get your regular high brand, when I say high brand, I mean the heavily marketed brands that we all enjoy to drink, and you get the base, the VS, or even the VSOP. Those, well, first of all, cognac is distilled champagne. Okay, so when you get the marketed brands, they wholesale champagne and grapes from various estates, and they make like a blend. And because they make a blend, they put additives. And one of the additives they put in is dye. This one has no dye. So when you hold up to the light, you can see straight through it and clear like that. It has a beautiful color. You know, so that's one of the things that you get with a beautiful cognac, you know. So yeah, that's why it's clean, no burn. It's just, you know, we didn't, you know, off half a bottle. We can keep sipping. We probably are gonna keep sipping. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we're going to close it out here. So, you know, I'm going to let my guests say whatever they want to say to close it out.
All right.
You know?
It's your boy Bandroom Leno, man.
Main Bandroom.
Say 2025 is going to be a good one for you, me, everybody, man. Starting at the top of the year, I'll be releasing my first single for the year, Breaking Free. You know what I'm saying? Y'all check that out when it comes out. And be giving y'all music all year long. So just stay tuned, stay connected, log in. Holla at your boy Bandroom Leno _Leno on Instagram. Holla at me, man. Happy New Year and blessings to everybody.
I'm gonna get them buttons. Podcasters ain't shit. I'm getting my buttons.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey man, Dat Damn Monty, the street's favorite comedian, man.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I missed y'all, man. Like, you know, I
miss y'all too.
Yeah,
man.
You know, Instagram, Dat Damn Monty, man. Hey, just be on the lookout, man. I'm almost done writing my special entitled Monty's, which is my first name, to where you guys are gonna get a little backstory of, you know, how I got my name, just a little of my life story. We're going to sit and we're going to have a conversation. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But from a human standpoint. So, yeah, that's what I got going on, man. You know, new brand, Class Clown University. So be on the lookout for that. You know, it's still funny by nature. But, you know, just give me a little merch stuff going on, man. Let me see what else I got going on, man. You know, just be on the lookout, man. You know, just steady bringing the funny, naturally, organic, not putting on a wig, still not gonna ever put on a wig.
You wearing a dress anytime soon?
Never.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man.
You know what I mean?
My G's ain't putting on no dress.
Nah, because when you got talent like this, brother.
Hold on. This nigga talking about we done with, nigga. I ain't have never considered.
Yeah, consider. Man, if they put up 10 mil,
man, I can't do it. You gotta realize something, man. You know, I grew up a little different from everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like my old man is you know what I'm saying? He's a legend out here, so I can't. You know, why would I do that?
Right.
You know, how can I explain to my son, hey, you know, the reason why you living like this, you know, Daddy went to one of those parties.
Oh,
you know, I couldn't, you know what I mean? Like I made it this far, you know what I mean? Like nobody's where they want to be, but you know, each year it gets better. Man, I don't have nothing to complain about. Nothing to complain about at all, man. You know, so it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. But until the end, I'm gonna continue to put in the groundwork, keep on bringing this funny naturally. You know what I mean? Nothing is forced. And, you know, I'm thankful that I'm one of the ones that's been consistent to the point where I don't have to force the laughter on people.
Right.
You know, so.
Hey, and if you ain't checked Monty out, what the hell is wrong with you? Bruh, it's funny,
when
man.
I say nigga funny, on the clock, off the clock, just period.
Get on his IG and check out when he has a show. I guarantee you need to just buy a ticket and show up. You're going to have a good time, bro.
Or when he organically just ranking on a nigga on IG.
Or we just out doing karaoke sometimes.
Oh, yeah. That's how,
karaoke is not normal karaoke, especially when this guy come in the building. You know what I'm saying? So, already. You know, just be on the lookout for it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Speak Ayo Gold. Hey, you can find me, Ayo Gold Media. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep doing this. You know, we had when I look back at all our episodes and all our clips, we're gonna be dropping the clips soon. I got 50 clips so that we could take this thing live on YouTube Live. So I'm gonna push the 50 clips out there and get the live popping. But we dropped y'all a lot of science. You know what I'm saying? We birthed a lot of knowledge out here, and we was doing it under low production. We're gonna continue to work on the production, but don't worry about the production, because where you gonna get this talk from?
Yeah.
Where you gonna get this thought from? You know what I'm saying? Where you gonna get provoked and be able to understand things differently, so when you show up on your job, you know how to chop it. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We bring that we bring that smooth energy to you so that you can digest what's going on in the world. And I enjoyed this episode.
Yeah,
this one was just the fellas. The ladies are still here. You know what I'm saying? We'll bring them back, but we're gonna change up the format every now and then. Sometimes it'll just be me and another guest. Sometimes be just the fellas. Sometimes be the full cast. Whatever it is. But this one moved differently because it was all the fellas, and I really enjoyed the conversation that happened.
Yeah,
so, it's always a pleasure, bro. You know, when we're able to fellowship, but we just want to tell you, I know everybody need a break, but, you know, you've created something, man, that's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we commend you. We want to give you your flowers, man, and just say, hey, you could have picked anybody.
Anybody.
You
Appreciate
know,
it.
but the fact that, you know, you've created something, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You're not just throwing no shit together. You know what I mean? Like, you actually, this is something that you have a passion for.
Right.
You know, but just always remember, you know, you have some brothers, bro, that's going to support you.
All the time.
1,000 all the way down. You know what I mean? So when you decide to just say, okay, hey, I need a break, we understand that. But in the midst of that break, let us know, hey, man, look, sometimes you may want to get from in front of the camera and get behind and say, all right, look, y'all do X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Because this is something amazing that you created, bro.
Yeah.
We locked in, you know that. So, you know, just
appreciate you, man.
Thought, man.
Oh, man, much love, too. I love y'all, too. Love you, too, Monty.
Word is
you know what I'm saying? Word is bond, son.
Smuckers.
Word to my mother.
Yeah.
Smuckers.
You know what I mean?
Got my
Brooklyn,
Timbos on
stand
now,
up.
yo. Check it.
HTown, stand up. Mesa Road, stand up. City Gas, what's up with it? You know what I mean? Detroit, yeah. No, I'm all that. So you ain't know. I'm all that. But love it, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's even harder to go. But hey, Monty said some real shit. Thank you so much for them words. Yo, definitely. You know what I'm saying? I do it for y'all. You saying some real shit. The real shit is, I do have a message, and I want it to reach certain people. I just want to make you think just a little bit differently. You know, that's it. And I think that you can do that from different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? So I try not to hog the whole scene and give brothers a chance to respond and share their thoughts of mine with you. You know what I'm saying? And I do the same thing. And when we had ladies here, they do the same thing so that you can make clear decisions. You know what I'm saying? With that, we out.
Peace.
Peace, HTown.
Let's go.